Welcome back to my channel, everybody. While I was at work today, Marvel decided to drop the trailer for the Punisher short. Now, I was talking to a friend at work that when I was talking about how the trailer dropped, he was like, oh, the new movie coming out on Disney Plus. And I just want to say, this isn't a movie. It's a short. It's a special presentation, kind of like Werewolf by Night. So I guess it's going to be like 45 minutes to an hour long. But with that being said, I do love the Punisher. The first one that came out with Thomas Jane is one of my favorite Marvel movies of all time. I even liked the other one with Ray Stevenson that came out, Warzone. I thought that was a lot of fun. Jon Bernthal isn't my favorite Punisher. He's like my third favorite. I love Jon Bernthal as an actor. I think he's fantastic. But I never really cared for his like screaming at the top of his lungs Punisher. Like, I didn't read a lot of Punisher comics growing up, but in the ones that I did read, he was more stoic and quiet. Like, he was never this brute force screaming down hallways while firing guns like he's Conan the Barbarian letting out a battle cry. But nonetheless, I do still enjoy him as a Punisher. I just never loved him the way I loved Thomas Jane's. Thomas Jane's was kind of like the perfect version for me growing up. But I have been really excited to see him team up with Spider-Man. We've never gotten to see the Punisher team up with another hero before, and who better than Spider-Man? And right before that movie comes out this summer, we're getting this special presentation that was something that Jon Bernthal himself has co-written. It was his idea, so that was really exciting to me. I put off watching it while I was at work because this is the first taste that we're getting of it outside of that quick little like 2-second sneak peek we got at the end of like last week's episode of Daredevil. But without further ado, let's get into it and see if this looks like it's going to be any good.
Hey, Frank. How you doing, brother?
I know we saw the beard in the set photos, but it does look really badass. Like the Punisher with a beard, hell yeah.
Talk to me.
Was he having PTSD? Ooh.
Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, it's definitely PTSD.
Think God's gonna forgive us for the things we've done?
I love the fact that the PTSD is at the forefront. He's going through it right now. It's dark, it's gritty. It's how a Punisher movie should be. Is that in his head? More of the screaming. Where's the suit?
That's all you got? That's all you got? That's all you got?
Brutal. Yeah, how he's gonna survive that, who knows, but that was epic. There it is, finally. Okay, so what it appears to be at first glance is something's happening to one of his neighbors and it triggers a PTSD attack in him where he wants to defend them, I guess to avenge the fact that he couldn't avenge his own family. We do get some more of the screaming that I was a little concerned with in there, and there is one little thing that really bothers me that Marvel loves to do, and that's hiding the suit for a long time. They love to make you wait to see the characters in their iconic suits. They did it in Daredevil Born Again Season 1, and they're probably going to do it here where the first 90% of it is going to be him in his sweatshirt and sweatpants until he puts the iconic suit on. But outside of that, I'm really impressed. I mean, they didn't give you a lot of story, but it is just the first teaser, and it's not a 2-hour movie. It's like 45 minutes. So there's probably not a whole lot they could show us without spoiling anything, because if nothing else, this is going to be like a pedal to the metal kind of show where if it is only an hour and they're trying to tell a whole story, it is going to be balls to the walls, action, violence, and hopefully some really good character drama sprinkled in there with him dealing with his PTSD. I would be more nervous for this if not for Daredevil Born Again Season 2 so far, because for a long time when the first Daredevil Born Again Season 1 show was being made, they were trying to give it its own identity and make it more of like a law procedural type of show where the focus was on Daredevil being a lawyer, and I think they realized halfway through it that the show was boring and you don't even see Daredevil don his costume until like halfway through an 18 episode show. That's what it was originally going to to be 18 episodes, and Kevin Feige said there was no way they could put out a Daredevil show where he doesn't put on the suit until halfway through it. So they let them go, and then they brought in the creators of The Punisher season 1 and 2, I believe, as writers to kind of fix the first season. And although I didn't hate the first season, it was definitely boring until the end. But those creators had full creative control over season 2, and so far this new Daredevil show feels just like the Netflix show, where it's hard hitting, it's rated R, it's brutal, it's action packed, we get Daredevil in the suit a lot, and this is just what people wanted, especially if you were casting Charlie Cox to play the character again. Like, the second you did that, I don't care how much Kevin Feige was like, oh, it's Charlie Cox again, but it's a different version of Daredevil, it's not this, like, no, then just cast somebody else, because no one's ever gonna accept a watered down version of Daredevil with the same actor. Like, that's what we wanted, and that's what that show, the first season, felt like predominantly. It felt watered down. But then they gave us season 2, and it's one of the most violent things I've seen Disney Plus ever do, and it gives me a lot of hope for this new Punisher show, because if they're letting it be super R-rated violence in Daredevil, they're absolutely gonna let that happen here with the Punisher. I mean, in the last episode of season 1 of Daredevil alone, the Punisher is blowing dudes away with shotguns, and you're watching their limbs and blood and guts fly all over the place. So if nothing else, I'm very confident in the fact that they're going to allow this show to be super R-rated with the violence, but them tackling this super dark subject matter like PTSD and trauma is also kind of new grounds for Marvel. I mean, they dealt with a little bit of depression and anxiety and feeling alone in Thunderbolts, but it's seeming more and more like they're lessening up on the grip of they want this to be a family-friendly thing. Like, I get it, it's Disney, but you could still have adult content on Disney Plus behind like an age restriction wall. I remember when Bob Iger used to talk about how they would never do anything R-rated, and here we are getting R-rated movies like Deadpool and Wolverine, and we're getting R-rated shows like Deadpool, and now we're getting an R-rated special with The Punisher, and I'm pretty sure Werewolf by Night was considered mature. And this trailer has done nothing but show me that Punisher is in good hands. There's no need to worry that Disney's in control here, and this looks like a great tiny little micro story with John Bernthal trying to protect a family. I'm just curious who the villain is of it, or if it's just faceless henchmen. Only time will tell, but I do think this looks great. I could do without the screaming, but regardless, he is a great Punisher. I'm sure he's going to do a great job. He loves the character. He helped write it. He's passionate about this, and when people that are passionate do things, they usually turn out better than people that don't give a shit. But like I said, only time will tell. What did you guys think? Did you guys like this trailer? Did it sway your opinion on whether or not you want to see it when it eventually comes out? Let's talk about it in the comments down below. And as always, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time.